So now we'll be moving on to our section 2. And what are we talking about in our section 2? Our section 2 is talking about HTML basics. HTML basics. Our section 2 is talking about HTML basics. And before we can move on to HTML basics, I want to put to you that we'll be using an environment called Visual Studio Code to carry out our HTML, CSS and JavaScript practice to build our website. Now we'll be moving on. I will be showing us how to install our Visual Studio Code. The first thing you have to do is you'll be having a file. Then you can download it or install using. You can either download the file or you do what and install it. So after installing the file, the first thing that should come to your mind is everything you are doing within your HTML or within your Visual Studio Code, they are documented. They are documented. Everything you are doing is documented. And if you want to document anything, you have to put it in a folder. Then the first thing that you should do is you should create a folder. Creating a folder. Then I will name this folder my dev or web development. I've named this folder web development. Then the next thing I will do is I will open my Visual Studio Code. This is how my Visual Studio Code looks like. I can open my folder. Now the next thing for us to do is the folder you created, we want to make use of the folder. We want to save some file within that folder, and we can access that folder in different ways. I can just come to this place, open folder, then I will navigate to where the folder is created. The folder is created on my desktop. I will click on desktop, and for my desktop I will navigate to the folder I created, web development. This is it, web development. Then I will select folder. Automatically I'm having access to the folder. This is the folder here. Can you see it? Web development. That's the folder. Or I can just simply do it like this. This is the folder I created. Then I will just drag the folder and drop it in my Visual Studio Code. Then automatically I'll be having my folder open. Then I don't need this. I will cancel out this. Then I'm having my web development. My web development folder. So now this folder will serve as a place where we will be saving our files. And the next thing for us to do now is we want to bring out our syntax. Every markup language has its own syntax, and the syntax for HTML is what we want to see now. Then I'll just have to do what I'm having 4 icons here. I'm having the first one, new file. That is, I want to create a file within that folder I created on my desktop. I want to do what again? I want to open a folder within that folder I created on my desktop. This one is doing what? This one is refreshing the folder, and this one is doing what? I want to collapse the folder. No, but the two major ones you'll be needing most is the file and the folder. Now I want to create a file within my HTML, within my web development folder. Then I will click on this new file. Then what type of file am I creating? we are still working on our markup language called what? HTML. We want to work on our markup language HTML. Then I will do what? Index. I'll be using index.html. Index.html. I'm using index.html because we are working on a file called what? HTML. We are working on a file called HTML. Well, that is why I'm using .html, and that dot is just like an extension. The dot is just like an extension used, an extension used while creating a website. Let's say for instance, if you are trying to download a music, or you are trying to download a video, or you are trying to save an image or download an image, they all have their own extension. Music usually have an extension of what? .mp3, video .mp4. An image, we have an extension of what? .png, .jpg, .jpeg, anyone that you are using. And we also have our normal document. You are writing in words and you want to save it, and you'll be saving it with what? Either with .txt, .pdf, anyone you want to use. That's how your computer will understand the kind of file you are using or you are creating. Using .html now, you can see these tags, and I said what? Before you can know that something is a tag, it has to be in an angular bracket. Automatically, this symbol we are having here is already denoting that we are having what? We are having an HTML file, because we save our index with what? .html. And don't get confused, this index is just like a first word a computer will see while creating your website. That's why if you search on some particular website, or if you are trying to click on some particular link, you'll be seeing something like index while the link is loading on the browser. You'll be noticing some kind of index. You'll be seeing some kind of word called index. So the index is coming from this place. You cannot create any other file by giving it any other name you want to give it, but the first file you have to create for your website should be starting with what? Index.html. And this HTML should be in small letter and not capital letter, lowercase and not in uppercase. Lowercase and not in uppercase. This your naming can be in uppercase, can be in caramel casing, and can be in lowercase, anyhow you want to use it. Yes, anyhow you want to use it. And we have our syntax, our HTML syntax, starting from the words. We can get our HTML syntax in two ways. The first one is by doing Shift plus 1. Shift plus 1, then click on enter. Shift plus 1, then click on enter. Let me practicalize it. Shift plus 1, you'll be getting this, then click on enter. This is the syntax for our HTML. And I can also do it like this. By using our tags, something like this. Then the first thing I'm having is what? Doctype HTML. After doctype HTML, I'll be having my what? HTML tag. Then I will split my HTML tag. Within my HTML tags, I'll be having my head. I'm having my head. And within this head, I'm having title. Okay, before title, After the head, I'm having another tag called body tag. Yes, this is the syntax for our HTML. So I'll be explaining everything one after the other. This doc type here is explaining, giving an explanation or making our browser to understand the type of documents we are writing. It is called document type. And what type of document are we writing? HTML document, HTML document, HTML5 document, HTML5 document. And we have another tag here, HTML tag. This HTML tag already is denoting that we are writing in HTML. Everything we want to create is within our what? HTML. Is within our what? HTML. That's why we are having HTML opening tag and we are having HTML closing tag. And what do you mean by opening tag and closing tag? Most of the tag you will be working with comes with what? Comes with opening tag and a closing tag, to show where your tag is starting from and where the tag is ending. That's what we mean by opening tag and a closing tag. In some exceptions like doc type, and we also have some tags like IMG, image tag, and some tags like some tags like input tags they does not have, they are just a single tags. Everything you want to do will be within their tags. As you can see, we are trying to create an HTML. We've created our HTML tag, which is this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. And within the tag, we created our what? Our head tag, the opening tag of the head and the closing tag of the head. And after that, we did what again? We created our body tag, the opening tag of the body and the closing tag of the body. The opening tag of the body and the closing tag of the body. So everything you want to do should be what? Within your opening tag and the closing tag. It's because we are writing our what? Our language in HTML language. We are trying to create our website using HTML. We are using a markup language called HTML, and that's why every other thing we are writing is embedded inside our what? HTML tag. If we should put this outside this HTML tag, we are writing total rubbish. We are not writing in HTML format anymore. But if it is within this tag, we are writing in what? HTML format. We are writing in what? HTML format. We are writing in what? HTML format. Can you see it? Everything I want to write here now should be within this head, the opening tag and the closing tag of this head. And anything I also want to write here should be in the opening tag and closing tag of this body. So that's how it should look like. And let me explain what other tags are doing. I've explained our HTML. This head tag now, the function of our head tag is what? This head tag is what? Is giving grades to our meta tags. How our tags are being rated on the browser is from this head tag. This head tag does the work of how our tags are being rated on the browser. We have a lot of tags within the heading tags. We have meta tags, we have our title tags, we have our that's where we link our CSS. We have our head tags does a lot of work for us, and we have our body tag here. Every other thing you are seeing on a browser, everything you are seeing on the browser that is visual to you, that you can see virtually, you are seeing it. They are created within the body. They are what? They are created within the body. They are tags created within the body. Anything that is not created within this body is not, you'll be seeing it though, but which means you are not following the right step. You are not taking the right step you are supposed to take in creating what you are supposed to do with your HTML tags. So let's see other tags by just doing our shift plus one. So as we can see here now, we have our document type, which is HTML. We have our HTML, and within our HTML we have language and we have English, which is denoting that our HTML format is in what? Is in English. We can change from English to any other language we want to use. We can switch from English to any other language we want to use. And we also have within our head we have our meta tags, and these meta tags, they are what? They are giving grade to our website on the browser. And we have documents, and so we have title. These title are those title you see within your tabs, your tabs on the browser. You see how everything works as time goes on. And this is our body. We have explained. This is the body tag. Everything within our body we are seeing on our browser is created within the body. So let's do some practical example. So this is our HTML structure, our HTML syntax, and we will be moving to HTML tags. We'll be moving to what? HTML tags. We have some common tags like div, paragraph tag, heading tags, from the highest tag to the lowest tag. We have our anchor tag, image tag, table tag. So in our next video, I'll be showing how these tags work.